And now let's talk about the greatest enemy of our time. Now let's go back to the CCP and talk about how they actually use numerology and astrology. So this is world exclusives now I'm dropping on the first episode. I'm going to break down how the Communist Chinese Party uses numerology and astrology against others and to benefit them. You know, America's been through a few wars. That's no secret. But what you have to understand is there's a certain war I want to go to. And the certain war is this, the Korean War. 1962, the Americans came in there and they basically defended the South Koreans, and they got the North Korean capital, and they had the North Koreans on the run. It was pretty much over. And then there was a surprise attack. Chinese, 1962. The Chinese committed a surprise attack. The Pentagon was caught off guard. American allies, the UN, everyone was caught off guard. And again, I wasn't even born yet. But I understand what they did. 1962, right when the Americans were about to liberate all of Korea, the Chinese attacked them. The Chinese attacked America in 1962, and they attacked Americans' ally, India, at that time as well. And the reason they waited until 1962 is because 1962 is the year of the tiger. And that's very important to understand because America was founded 1776, the year of the monkey. What you have to understand is the Chinese attacked America for the first time in their enemy year. But you see, American government doesn't understand this. Because while the American government has the edge at this point and that point in history with military technology, while they have an edge with finances, they're only fighting a front on two wars: soft power, finances, and hard power, which is basically guns and warrants and tanks. They're fighting the war on two fronts. The Chinese are fighting it on three. Not just with money, soft power, not just with bullets and tanks, hard power, but also using occult power. They attacked America for the first time in their history in America's enemy year. That is no coincidence. They knew. Imagine dealing with the Nazis. The modern day, the Chinese Communist Party. And the Nazis just didn't have their superior technology, but they also had this knowledge I have in my head, knowledge I'm passing off to you, occult knowledge. They attacked America in their enemy year. Know your enemy. This is your enemy. To the Black Lives Matter folks, while you do have a legitimate grievance, I want to point this out. if America is a white supremacist nation, I'm not going to argue that. That's not what I'm talking about here. But let's go by that premise. I'm not even going to argue that. Let's say America is a white supremacist nation. That means that white supremacy has benefited African Americans within this country. And before you look at me and say, Gary, what are you, fucking nuts? Let me explain. There's about 40 million black Americans in America. 40 million. That 40 million has more combined wealth than over 1 billion black people outside of America. So again, 40 million American blacks have more economic power than 1 billion black people outside. Now, if that comment triggers you, that is your problem. That is not my problem, because that is factual. And the reason I'm telling you this is very simple. As bad as you believe you have it here, the rest of the world is a lot worse. And if you want to keep marching now, you risk dividing the country. Because let's be honest, you saying Black Lives Matter, someone's going to say White Lives Matter. That's the little kindergarten games. You say this, I say this, blah, blah, blah. That's what's going to happen. That is why Black Lives Matter is so ingenious. Because they know as soon as you say that, you're going to say the other one. Now it's Blue Lives Matter. But what I will not accept is saying all lives matter is racist. I will never accept that. Because remember, people can justify anything in life. Stalin justified killing 50 million people. You can justify anything in life, but we all know the difference between right and wrong. And obviously, all lives matter includes white, black, and everything. Or just say lives matter, because everything else has been politicized. And the reason I'm saying this again is in this country, we can't divide it. Because if we do, they win. They are actively funding Antifa. There's been talk that they're going to invite Black Lives Matter leaders to Beijing, the Chinese capital. Why are they doing this? Because they care about the black man's plight? Hell no. They don't give a fuck. Do you know they don't even let black people into malls in China? They're the most racist people in the world. They have like 2 million Muslims in internment camps. Internment camps. They don't give a damn. They just want to help you divide America. If America falls, they take over. It's divide and war tactics. Divide and conquer tactics. Art of war. They wrote it. Understand your enemy. That is your enemy right there. The Chinese Communist Party. It was announced today that one of Trump's advisors said the trade deal is off with China. It should have been off a long time ago. The Chinese are known liars. They told people in 1997, they told the British government, Hong Kong will have 50 years autonomy. They knew back then they were lying. China, founded 1949. 1949 is the year of the ox. They got Hong Kong back. 1997, year of the ox. Let me tell you how oxes do things. With an iron fucking fist. That's how oxes play. Oh, you want some proof? Yeah, I got that for you because I'm Gary the Numbers guy. Saddam Hussein, born 1937, year of the ox. He just straight butchered people. First day he came to power, he called all the Ba'ath Party to auditorium. And he went to the stage and he started reading off names. And then military soldiers would come in, get that person, And then 2 minutes later, you hear a shot in the back. Someone's down. That's how he took power. With the iron fist. Hitler, born 1889, year of the ox. He did not allow any dissent. Interesting thing about Hitler was he started losing the war in 1943. Lost the Battle of Kursk. That was the end of it. 1943 is the year of the goat. Again, ox's enemy sign. Napoleon, born year of the ox, ruled the iron fist. So, by China being founded in 1949, that's all they understand. All they understand is brute force. Now, someone would say China's never attacked anybody. Yeah. Ox is just building up his time. Just building up. You know, another interesting parallel about Nazi Germany and China. Nazi Germany had the Olympic Games 1936, year of the rat. China had in 2008, year of the rat. Trust these people. And I was telling people back then, when China was the 17th or 15th biggest economy in the world in 2008, I was telling you before then, watch out for these fuckers. Because they want world domination. And they don't play. If they don't like you, they will just take you out. They have taken over Tibet. They have taken over Mongolia. Those are not their lands. They took it over with the iron fist. They're going to Hong Kong with the iron fist. They're going to talking shit to Taiwan. They want to take that with the iron fist. They will not stop. All they understand is brute force because that is all the ox understands. Zionist in the CCP, Zionist in the Democratic Party, Zionist in the Republican Party. Listen, you want to talk about Zionists? We're taking this discussion to a whole different level. That's the top of the pyramid. We're not talking about the top of the pyramid. We're talking about this right here. And the reason we're talking about this right here is because we pick the battles we can fucking win. It is not set in stone that China has to lead the New World Order. That is not set in stone. And I've seen examples of this not set in stone. America, like my little pop-up, America can still lead the New World Order. And there will be a New World Order. Don't kid yourself and think there won't be one. And what I'm trying to tell people is this right here, with all its faults, with all the misery it's caused, it is still the symbol of the most freedom that the people of this planet have ever had. Under this flag, the problem with society today is they want to shut you down. If they disagree with what you're saying, they want to shut you down. Where before 20, 30, 40 years ago, it was different. If I disagree with you, I hate you, but I will fight for your right to say it. Now it's completely different, and it's important to understand why it's different now. In the 18, 17, 16, 1900s, the New World Order never could have pulled it off. And the reason for that was there is a number one in every single year. 1920, 1999, you still have at least 1. One is independence. One is male energy. When the calendar shifted to 2, that's female energy. So we went more from a logic-based society to an emotional-based society because of the 2 energy there. And what the elite have learned to do very well now is how to emotionally trigger people. And what am I talking about here? Any idea? Oh, women definitely get triggered, but they were getting triggered before. They trigger betas and they trigger black people because black people start with the B. B is the second letter. And they're very, very emotional about the race issue. All by design. See, what the elite do is they plan these things way ahead of time. It is no coincidence that they always pit black and white against each other. Black, when you write it down in numerology values, it adds up to an 11, and so does white. As above, so below. That's why those two are always pitted against each other, because what you have to understand is this. As long as Whitey's fighting everyone else over here, no one's looking over there at the real oppressor. No one's looking at them. And the real oppressor, he's the one that's socially manipulating everything. But see, here's the beauty. If you understand numerology and astrology, you can see past all that bullshit. And again, I understand most of the people watching this podcast, you haven't taken my classes and stuff like that, and nor am I selling anything. The fact of the matter is this. Just following my free content makes you guys better right now than all the numerologists of 10 years ago. And that's just plain facts. Now, with my students, I can take it to a new level and they can piece some of the stuff together I'm saying here, take it to that level. But what I want you guys to understand is the greatest threat in human history right now, the CCP. And I've shown you without a shadow of a doubt in this video how they use numerology and astrology against the United States of America. But now I'm going to show you something